Welcome to another session of Endless Legend. I'm Matt, and this is my playthrough with the Morgawr, the sea faction of the game. And full disclosure, I did play a couple of episodes and then got crushed by the faction quest, hilariously enough. So, strictly speaking, I lost this game. Although, A, that wasn't that great viewing, B, I lost the footage. And, you know, why not travel back in time and, see if I can do better. So, I mean, I feel like that's not a very exciting way to end the series, because just losing because I wasn't familiar enough with the faction quests. So I'm just going to continue like this. Getting the ulti of Morgawr is pretty nice, but I do want to save some dust for a new hero. And let's see how good my hero is. With skill tree, I have level 2 of Ancient Marina. So I have bonus attack, which means my damage should be much higher. Or because attack affects damage in a roundabout way. By the way, we have to be very careful that we don't capture all the fortresses near us. So, like, I think this fortress should trigger the main quest. So the main worry I have is that the Vor, which we research here, needs to be researched before this level of the quest is gotten. But after you build 2 Vors, you then need to capture 2 fortresses violently. And it's not okay that you just... like, capture them already, peacefully or violently. You have to capture them again. Or you have to be able to capture them once you get that quest, which is really annoying. And I think it really throws you off, and it kind of encourages you not to capture fortresses, which is kind of the entire point of Morgawr. Okay, 50 dust. Alright, let's see this. Let's see this quest, let's see if it's worth it. I think I'm actually going to capture them forcefully. They only have 1 ship, it should be fine. This is what I'm talking about. Like, in the last episode I was embarrassed because I was too aggressive for my hero. But I'm going to show you now how effective the hero can be. Yeah. This is certainly not a playthrough where everything has been going to plan, but it is one of those it's one of those spots where I think you can actually win with the Morgawr. And I think, like, things not going to plan has some entertainment value. Okay, we capture this fortress, and let's see what it's giving us. A luxury boost facility. And we already have... No, we don't actually have any luxuries on use, so... that's currently not actually helping us that much. But if we can capture the sea region, that would obviously be great. Once you capture a sea region, fortresses are very vulnerable, normally. But once you capture the whole region, they can't be attacked by other empires unless they, like... declare war on you or something. So capturing whole regions is definitely a big priority. Alright, so let's just end turn here. Speaking of priorities, my aim here is to do a little bit better and not lose a hero again. Let's see about this colonization spot. So here gives us extra happiness and a bit of extra fizzy overall. Although the downside is it's not at the sea immediately. We can expand towards the sea fairly easily, and there we have like 3 sea tiles, even like 4, and we can even make a dock here if we want. So I'm going to build more of a standard city here. I think that's okay. Now we're getting the mill foundry. And we have 3 population units right from the start, which is great. Now I can think about picking up a hero for the city. Let's see. Wayward Seagull. Wayward Seagull. I always said red Wayward for some reason. Anyway, this hero starts with an industry boost and a food boost, which is excellent for a governor. At least at this stage of the game. Later we might want to dust or science more, but at the start, food and industry are pretty important. These 2 abilities are not that impressive, but this ability is impressive. This ability is even more impressive. These 4 abilities are excellent on a governor, and the starting abilities are quite solid. So I think we might want to pick this hero. Picking a cultist hero is never bad because they have great bonuses in the long term based on how many population units you have in the city. But I guess in the short term, they are more impressive heroes. I guess we can pick up the cultist hero or the heroes for good science, like the art of mages hero. We can pick them up later and then use them effectively later. Now we do want seed storage at some point, but we need the winter to end first, so we're going to public library first. We can improve food production quite substantially. The question is, do we want the food or the mill foundry first? I guess I don't have to. I can balance it out a bit. They're both really important. Speaking of important, I want to pick up as many pearls as I can, and the reason for that is that I need to bring 8 titanium back to these people. Oh, and I can pretty soon because of this titanium facility on the bastion. So that's great. So the main reason, sorry, I have a cold. The main reason this, oh, what was I talking about? I guess the, damn it. The main reason pearls are good is not only the Altar of Morgawr, but you can pick up this pearl hoarding, and you can use it to create stockpiles, and then you can cheat out stockpiles later in the game. You can make stockpiles for 100 industry and then upgrade them with these 2 upgrades, and then you can get huge amounts of food or science or just whatever. I think I'm just going to let this fire ship die because I don't want to pay its upkeep cost during the winter, and I don't want it roaming around. So this is a standard trick I learned from. Actually, I learned a lot about this faction from SB's playthrough. You should definitely check that out as well. Yeah. I mean, if we win and capture this fortress, it's not that bad either. Yeah, we actually win now. Or if we take up one of their ships, it's also not bad for us. That means less minor faction armies or less defenses later on. And as you can see, it means that we can balance out our dust economy properly. I mean, ideally we'd have workers and food, but then we'd be losing a ton of dust, so there are obviously pros and cons to that. Let me just search this side of the sea. If I can find the other fortress, I can capture that, and that'll be great. Now we're just sending this on the scout down here. Masterminds are effectively scouts, come on. Like, they're not terrible army units. Also, when you're damaging your own units, you kind of start to question, like, how valuable can it be, really, you know? Okay, this is a good fight. It's an easy fight, we're guaranteed to win. The reason it's happening like this is because of the fortress. Defending the fortress is like defending villages. Okay, they have a really good terrain advantage on us. I should have thought. No, there's nothing I could have done. So basically, short fights where a hero gains a lot of experience, or gains any experience. Did our hero gain experience? I hope they did. Are pretty important for us here because our hero is one of the main ways we can pick up extra fortresses, at least early in the game. Before we get these walls, we're kind of obliged to pick up war technology, despite the fact that it's not that good at the moment. Nice thing about the Morgwar is you can sort of skip on these open pit mines and alchemist furnace because you're relying so heavily on fortresses. Actually, I kind of want the sewer system quite a lot. Maybe I'll get it next, after I pick up Empire Mint and Wars. So you're relying so heavily on these fortresses, so you don't need these titanium / whatever extractors. The whatever extractor. Yeah. Let's search here. Now, a good reason to get decent reason to pick up the altar here is because it's going to improve our city without costing us happiness. That's pretty important for us at the moment. I'm going to go for Empire Mint. Our dust is struggling a bit more than our normal economy. Like some of this is changing neither number. That's weird. Okay, got it there. Okay. Let's keep exploring this ocean region. During the winter, sadly, we're really slow. I mean, just in general, the winter sucks for everyone. But it sucks for the player more because the player is already economically disadvantaged. So, you know, any modifier that makes us more economically disadvantaged is going to disadvantage us disproportionately because we have less of a buffer. And obviously, it's fine for multiplayer because it's, you know, more or less equal. This army unit is not that impressive. I'm not that worried about it. I guess I could catapult this thing, but I don't think it's ready to fight naval battles against us or something. I think I have to worry about that too much. So this is a new region discovered, and it's inhabited by some empire. Hopefully not a warlike empire. Here's a listing post. We probably want to get there. I'm not sure if there's only 2 fortresses in this region. Sometimes there are 2, sometimes there are 3. Now, once we get this war technology, I'm sure I want to go back for this sewer system to make sure our cities are happier in general. Yeah. Like a 40% happiness. Although this is a pretty high happiness count here. I think mostly because of the anomaly. Yeah, stasis pillar. Okay, we've met the green, which is a necrophage player. I was gonna say Caribous. they're really similar. A judge. They are really similar. Almost too similar sometimes. They're both really good warlike factions, so it's hard to keep them apart. And they're both like insect-like, so, you know, close enough. I even saw, maybe should link in the comments, like a fan theory or YouTuber theorizing that they could be the same. Should watch that video. Empirement. It's. I guess I want seed storage more now that the winter's over. Seed storage is pretty substantial buff to food production, and food production is pretty important. So important that I'm going to put more workers into it. I'm getting diminishing returns from that. Yeah. Just want to balance up my workers so that, at least at the start of the game, you do want to micromanage that a little bit. The reason I want to get sewer system here, the lighting change? Yeah, the lighting did change. That means dust eclipse is about to happen. Pretty cool cue so that you can plan ahead. Okay, we need to create 2 Vors to complete this quest. So now we need to watch out that we are on these temple ruins. Yeah, here's also a temple ruin, and here is a temple ruin. So when the dust eclipse starts happening, you need to make sure that you can pick up the temple ruins as soon as possible. Here's another temple ruin. So we can bounce over here and try and bounce down here, this army. And then we can quickly access the sea. And then we can try and get that temple ruin. This is another temple ruin. Yeah. We could send our hero on temple ruin hunting, though ideally we can first capture this area. It's a party. Oof, this is a trap, by the way. In case you didn't know. They want to kill your hero. See if we can attack them. I think our hero should be able to take it. Oh, shame. Poor Uraku. Uraku is really taking the beating, and I'm wholly to blame for that. I wish it would tell me before the battle started what these stupid tiles did. So I could, you know, strategize and prepare myself for that. Okay, these can move here and here. Now this tile does... What does this do? Defense against range attacks from the fog. Okay, so the fog is good for them. What does this tile do though? I don't know what it does. I want to know. I guess I'm just holding position, so I don't walk into these weird ass tiles where I don't know what they do. I should memorize those for future playthroughs. So ideally this will let... Oh, we should have target fired the enemy that moved first. Fortunately, it automatically happened, so that was a reasonable error. Oh, I'm still learning a lot about this faction. It's because the sea is so different than anything else in the game. It's like playing a completely different faction, almost. And obviously there's that early game vulnerability you need to negotiate. Like, my melee or my ground forces are so vulnerable, I was actually just killed by, killed by the quest army. Oh, we captured this region, that is great. So now we can go ruins hunting with this hero. Temple ruins? No temple ruins. Maybe there's a temple ruins on this island. We've met Green already, we might as well check on their territory. So capturing these regions is great because it means that we're going to be able to keep these regions unless war is declared on us. So we're already gaining a decent amount of production, glass steel, etc. And the nice thing about fortresses is that it doesn't matter what your technology level is, it matters what the player who's leading's tech tree is. So if you have fortresses, you benefit from other players getting high tech trees. Meaning you don't have to worry about that too much. And our dust economy is still strong. It's pretty nice. And haven't even picked up Empire Mint. That's how great this upgrade is. Here, the aqua ballistics can be for us. Now, what region do I want to get next? I'm sort of tempted by this volcanic region, even though we have no food. I'm tempted by Forani because it's close to us, and I'm also tempted by here Galarath because it has a Jotus, which is a ranged unit. And ranged units are desirable for armies, and especially desirable because we badly need armies. I guess Silics are pretty strong melee units, but ranged units are generally... If we're going to only have one army unit for a while, I'd rather have a ranged unit. And I can use this die to notice that. So, cavalry units are okay, I guess. These are not that great. But ideally we could pick up ranged units to make armies, because the nice thing about ranged armies is that they... how do I put this? Ranged armies are likely to trade effectively. And that's really what we kind of want on endless difficulty. We want the ability to trade effectively, and that means not losing units during confrontations. And mainly because it costs us to produce lots of units, and it doesn't cost the AI to produce lots of units. So in a way, we have to break the asymmetry, and we have to make sure that we can easily crush their armies. Okay, let's bounce. Fortunately, the Silics and the Orcas are really slow. Despite being, quite dangerous, they are quite slow. That's also why I'm hesitant to have a Silics army. They're really not fast, meaning that they could be outmaneuvered very easily. If the enemy has ranged units, we're kind of screwed. They're fine units to have in your army, but they need to be supported properly, either by ranged units or by cavalry. And just having them in your army on its own is not desirable. So I just want to scout a bit with my hero here. Maybe I'll snap them back. It's just that, yeah, maybe I'll snap them back to this Eclipse Temple at some point. Yeah. And now here we could jump on this and try and make a new populace, but I think it's maybe better to get this settled out, and then we'll focus on getting sewer system and maybe the central markets up quickly. And even though we'll have a lot of population or a lot of different cities, I think it should be fine. The main issue here is that a new settler makes a new city, and a new city decreases expansion disapproval. But this is a swift conflux, we definitely want to pick that up. We definitely want to pick this temple up and then move around to either this temple or this temple. And we want to see if there are any temples for a hero to pick up. Yeah, one downside of playing the Morgwar, unless you have these river tiles, it's very difficult to do land exploration. Or it's actually a bit less easy to do land exploration. We only lose one movement point. We're going to get the food upgrade on our governor. And Titan Bones, Adamantium, a lot of facilities were revealed. That's cool. Okay, hopefully we can just keep outrunning this Drider army. No! No! How did that happen? Ugh. Oh well. The game is sometimes weird with like movement. We picked up Anywhere, which is nowhere, which helps us stay invisible. Well, it keeps our army invisible, which is pretty intense. Pretty cool. Okay, I guess I should just pick up this Eclipse Temple, not be too greedy with my hero. And maybe there's a way I could have stacked that so that it would have lost a turn of disapproval. Oh, we got Adamantium, Grass Silk, random stuff that's not revealed yet. We got Blood Crystal, and we got more Grass Silk. That's excellent. So if we can manage to keep these two sea regions controlled, we're getting a lot of resources, which is great. Also, kind of makes me want to pick up some rewards so I can control those regions. As you can see, the extra work doesn't actually make anything faster, so we're getting that in dust. So we can buy another hero, even if that doesn't work out. So I'm just going to click like a maniac here, just to make sure that I actually get that army unit out of position, or out of range for attacks as soon as possible. This game is a bit weird like that. There's some APM requirement at the start, just to make sure your armies don't get crushed. Okay, we're going to search this. We've got 20 wine. Wine is good. Wine is excellent because it always boosts your upper happiness level. I guess your average faction in this legend is alcoholic. We can get the Sunken Ruins, or we can go around for this. This won't be there forever, so we should maybe try and get it, though that relies on the Eclipse lasting another couple of turns. Again, we could Catspaw a lot more, but Catspaw is just... I think... Look, the armies aren't that good with Catspaw, so I just like it to kind of control problematic minor faction armies. But it's not like you're getting a huge benefit out of it. You're not like you're picking up new armies to fight wars with, etc. So I'm just gonna be more conservative with my Catspawing. This until later. Do I want Public Library or Sewer System first? Public Library, definitely. We're happy on this for this area, at least for now. Picking up that wine definitely makes me feel like colonization was the correct choice. Kind of retroactively. I mean, maybe I'm just biased by the way things went. Okay, I got rewarded for deciding to make a decision. Okay. I got floor stolen. Where's this? Right here. Oh, I forgot to spam the button, hey? My APM was too weak. I paid for it. Though fortunately, during the Dust Eclipse, we get this bonus where we move our ships way faster, which is great. Now, we might have to declare war on this empire to capture this fortress later in the game. I assume it's going to be this fortress. If it's going to be one of our fortresses we already captured, like, it's going to be so annoying. Let's search this. We've got Moonleaf. And Moonleaf will help boost our science. And set us into Fervent, so it's probably worth popping right now. Yeah, so that was great. I got pretty lucky in terms of luxury boosters. Our dust is probably high enough that we can afford another hero. That's good. The reason I want to go here first is that I just want an army unit that's not garbage. And the Mastermind is garbage. And yeah. So we really do have to plan for that a little bit. If we can get on the Swift Complex, that'll be great. Let's go across there so we don't set ourselves on fire. Oh, we can pick up the Swift Complex first. That's good. Swift Complex is pretty nice for settlers. I don't need the sewer system right now, actually, because we're already in Fervent. So I can prioritize these wars. Hey, it's the Kapaku. My favorite. Okay, well, actually picking up that that might have been a mistake, because that cost us a bit of time. Time we could have maybe better spent in different ways. I can actually use this mastermind to explore our red's territory a bit. And maybe just pick up pearls, actually. Oh, damn it, I stopped here. That's costing me a bit of dust, because it increases the upkeep cost. Although it's nice, the nice thing about playing Morgawr is if you get these fortresses, you're getting a lot of luxuries and strategics. So then you don't have to invest in luxuries and strategics, which is one of the more annoying things. You have to pick up these technologies, but they're competing with other good technologies, you know. So then you're losing out on a lot of good technologies here, because you have to commit to these. It's not like it's not worth it, it's that if you don't have to do it, you suddenly free up a bunch of technology slots. Because there are only so many technologies that you can get from the first tier. Because then you want to get from the second tier, etc. You know, and that really helps out if you can get the technology, or you can get the luxury some other way. Now I'm just going to move up like this. Picked up the Swift Conflux, and now we can think about where we want to land. If we land here, we're going to get a better city immediately, I think. But if we closer to the water, it's better in the long term, because we benefit a lot from having water in our empire. Not just from the tiles, but also from having a port. Just having a port is very important, because it lets us create navies and create not just navies, but also sea trade routes. So ideally we have that, and we can sort of sea trade via there, for instance. So I don't know, or we can even sea trade with the Draken player if we're at peace with them, so that's cool. This is Draken, right? Yeah, I think we've even met them already. Yeah, they are Draken. Here's the Kapaku, and here's the Cravers. Come on, they're Cravers. They're basically Cravers. Let's just make sure we queue that movement. I can scout inland before I commit myself to picking that up. Kind of the thing with Sunken Ruins is that they take up the rest of your turn. So if you micromanage carefully, you can gain a bit of extra information before you commit to dive. Ugh, and I got nothing, obviously. Life. It's rough. We can even buy out of war if you think. Well, let's see about buying a hero first. And time to mash the button again. Yeah. Alright, now we have to maintain 3 influence. And we'll get 15 wine, which is actually perfect, because then we'll have enough wine to pop this again. Actually, we do have enough wine to pop this again. I'm just going to pop the grass slope to put us into fervent. We have enough production that it doesn't actually matter that we're not getting any trade route bonuses. Now we need to put this into influence right away. Get the mill foundry. And now we need to think about picking up a hero. So, because we have a river, that makes these heroes a bit more appealing, because bonus dust on river, and just a general bonus dust. This is that's a solid hero choice, I think, the Broken Lord's hero. They're decent governors, actually, despite being, you know, basically an infantry faction. Obviously, this is still a good choice. The Cultist hero is never too bad, although it does take a while for that to be really good. This is not... I mean, slavery is neat, but also I don't think I want that many of these heroes. They're kind of one-dimensional. No, I undervalued the Draken heroes in the past, but I have to check. We get a food boost. Okay, it's not bad. But we get bonus food on river terrain, and then bonus influence, which is pretty substantial. This seems like a nice buff, because influence is kind of a hard resource to generate. And then extra happiness, which is nice, but not that great. We might even want to go... it's an awkward way to get over there. I almost want the Broken Lord hero a bit more. Maybe I'm overvaluing the Broken Lord heroes, but The bonus dust is pretty nice. Then you get bonus resources, which can be nice, and then you can get a huge dust boost in the end, which I somehow feel is better than the extra happiness, and maybe better than the extra influence. And I think if we want extra influence very badly, we can just pick up this upgrade, which is going to magnify the bonus we get from these listening posts and bastions. So we're already doing reasonably well on influence, so I feel like we need an influence hero. Oh, never mind, it's not assign one of those heroes. So I guess we can pick up Bishop Julian because he has a dust bonus. Yeah. Somehow also a melee skill, a melee hero. It would be cool if there were heroes from different factions with different battle techniques, like a melee Alai hero would be interesting, for instance. Yeah. I mean, we could even pick up one. We could even think of picking up one of these forgotten heroes, although they're pretty garbage governors. I mean, they only have the skill, so they're much better as infiltrators or warriors. So I guess let's stick with Bishop Julian. I could have picked up Ozek the Chosen. Maybe that's the correct choice. This influence bonus is pretty substantial. I'm not actually sure about this choice. It's probably best not to be too fancy and pick up the Cultist hero now. Cultist heroes are just very good on the end effect. Like, late in the game, I wish I had it. Okay, let's see what skill we can get. We're going towards this skill, which is actually useful for us. We even have some forest tiles here, though. This is a forest, I think. We can get forest tiles, like I said. We can move here and get like 3 industry, which is not worth it. So whatever. That skill is kind of worthless, but picking up central market is kind of useful here. It will help us boost our production overall. Because it gives us bonus happiness and also bonus dust and food as long as we keep the happiness high. And we're going to be able to do that for a while. Now, additional research. We can think about getting... I think we can delay these weapons for now and get them later. So we can get the extra science. That's the appealing research. We can get extra cargo... The cargo docks. That's appealing, but it costs a lot of industry, obviously. The public granary is very appealing. I think we're doing a key on science so I can prioritize the public granary first. Because I really like the food bonus you get from public granary. Agricultural center is also good on us because we tend to have a lot of river and sea tiles. But yeah, we can always pick that up later. And it's not as good during winter, for instance. It's generally good, but not as good. We're going to pick up Mill Foundry immediately, I think, just so we can set this place up faster. Kind of fun. You can actually do the sort of dust economy playthrough with this faction because of all the dust you can generate with the sea tiles. And yeah, naturally, just the ocean. We're just going to bounce here, pick up this Eclipse Temple. If there's another Eclipse Temple, I can go for that. Yeah. And we can search it twice. Pay run? What is that? Oh, we have to level up a city tile to level 2. We can do that with a port by picking this up. If we get a port here, we'll level that up to level 2, I think. The port is something we really want, the cargo docks. It's our way of sea trade, but also cargo docks are themselves quite valuable as city tiles. We're just going to pick up the temples we can in this area. Okay, we're just moving around. And once we've picked up these 2 walls, do I want to spend a lot of dust to get those walls faster? I'm not sure. I think the answer is no. No, actually, this accelerates our production by quite a substantial amount. So, yeah, and we don't need another hero that quickly. We're also getting a lot of dust per turn, which is atypical. But getting a lot of dust sort of means like it means that we can afford to spend dust. This is kind of unusual. Okay, we don't actually care about this bonus, so that's fine. Often there's the main reason we want to vote for the Altar of Auriga. Wait, is this the fortress we need to capture? Over here. Okay, that's cool. We can capture a fortress over there. No biggie. So the main reason you want to vote on the Altar of Auriga, I think, is to get a bonus which will really benefit you, or avoid a bonus which will really screw you over. Like in the Kapaku playthrough, I was frequently messed up by bonuses that reduced my luxury count, so that was pretty bad. So let me just key this quest. This is the main quest. Here we should check out the sunken ruin. We need to get there. So here we have an army of Vors. Now Vors aren't that fast, which is really, really bad. So we can bounce down here, and that's the easiest fortress for us to capture. If we can capture 3 sea regions and hold them, that'll be great. I'm very careful. I'm very worried about overextending myself, and then just trying to control too many fortresses with too few naval units. I'm just going to scout here a bit, and then I don't want to clear wall. And then maybe just pick up this temple and move our hero back onto our sea army, because our hero is a pretty pretty powerful naval unit. I should probably negotiate with these people. I want to negotiate with those people, actually, that's better. 180. Let's go back. So yeah, things are going pretty well here. Partly because of the wine booster. Can guarantee we're in happiness mode. Once we picked up seed storage, we can... Yeah, that's fine. We can get sewer systems. Just these general upgrades, definitely not a bad choice. It looks like we can pick this up using just our hero, so we can put our worker into industry production. Can even pick up the seed storage a turn earlier. We have the dust production, but we don't actually care that much about losing dust at this point, which is kind of unique. 10 emeralds and 10 moon leaves. We don't have those resources, unfortunately. We could buy them at the public market, but I don't care that much about pacifying that manufacturing. I'm just going to use this mastermind to scout that direction. And I don't know how we landed up here, but that's fine. We're going to assign our admiral to this fleet. This is going to be kind of important, but our admiral is uniquely actually not a terrible naval unit. This is kind of unique to the Morgawr admiral, and also we can boost our fleets with general upgrades via this tree. This only works for transport ships, by the way. This helps us detect, and this helps us avoid negative effects from weather, but really this upgrade is the best one. I guess this is decent if our hero ship is lagging behind, and these are probably going to buff our fleets. I think it works for sea fleets, as opposed to the ground fleets. Yeah, even put that in food. The sooner we can pick up a public granary, the better. Just micromanaging our workers a bit. Yeah. So I learned in the last rounds, sort of like a practice run, I guess, the lost footage, that the quest becomes very difficult at some point, and it spawns an army which you cannot defeat with these catsport units, which is kind of weird because the first quest asks you to catsport, and then you can't beat the army without the catsport. We can't beat the army with the catsport. Like a catsport 2 armies, like these 2 armies, and I was just crushed by the army that the quest spawns. So yeah, heads up, that is a unfair quest, and we'll delay it a bit until we can build an army. Speaking of building an army, I do want these Yotas. They They're only 2 range units, but at least they have range, so that's nice. Ideally, we pick up a better manufacturing unit at some point, but it looks like we're not really spoiled for choice. This is really one of the big weaknesses of playing as the Morgawr. You cannot control what ground armies you end up getting, meaning that if you get a bad ground army, that's sort of like tough. You have to deal with that, fortunately. These Vor are really slow. I wish there was an upgrade on this hero which improved our movement speed. Because I know for a fact that the ranged hero upgrade, which improves movement speed, it works for fleets. So that'll be great if we could do that. The question is, do we want to go back and pick up the Cyclone Ruins? I think I'm into that. And I got nothing, so I was promptly punished for that choice. I'll just negotiate with Forani. Forani will be a nice place for us to settle. With that, okay. It would be a nice place for us to settle because it's an island off of our 2 regions here. So I think we could fairly easily trade with it, which would be nice. And also it's very easy to defend by sea, which is crucial for us. If we control these sea regions, this sea region, etc., with sea units, it will be impossible for our enemies to ambush us with ground armies, which is really what we have to do. We need to build a ground army at some point anyways, right? Don't get me wrong. We can't get away with that forever, but our first line of defense should be the sea. I'm just going to pick up extra food upgrades. We'll get the unit cost reduction later. Okay, and we did pacify this village, which is great. Who's pillaging what? We can just catapult them if this becomes an issue. Although we can just let them pillage it almost. Actually not, losing a population is a big deal. So here's the real advantage to getting these villages, that they help produce extra workers. So that's why you really want to make sure you pacify villages in the region you're working with. You often, normally not that. I mean, it's nice that they don't spawn units that try and kill you and be a general pain in the ass. But at the same time, it's more important that you should do that. Now, if we could get both of these, and we can, this is great. So we get bonus happiness on our cities, and we get the building cost reduction. We can also gain something that improves our units, or improves our dust a bit. Actually, the happiness isn't really that good. We have another booster lined up in one turn, and it looks like we're going to be on Fervent for a while. I just want to get them. Bonus vision is not the worst, but it's not the best either. I'll get them next turn when I have the influence. So, do I want the bonus happiness, which will make sure we're happy and allow us to expand more? Or do I want the bonus dust buyout? Both of these are pretty solid, actually. I'm just going to go with the dust buyout. I'm not sure which is actually best. Because I can see myself putting workers in the dust. And I'm just going to chat with this fortress. If we randomly pick up a fortress for what? Oh shit! That was a mistake. As you might imagine. Press the wrong button there. Sorry about that. Well, there are going to be some mistakes playing as this faction. It's a lot of decisions. Clicks. Oh my. Mechanical. Unsported region located in Julion. Where's Julion? I have no idea where Julion is. Oh, there. Oh, that's easy. Now we can easily pacify this region. Forani might be a good choice for our next settle, actually. Yeah. So we can go and pick that up very easily. That's great. Speaking for easy, we're just going to move there. And now that we have this unit to assimilate, we'll pick it up next turn. And we'll see about producing some standing armies to just clean up these armies, for instance. We could catapult this army and make it walk into the lava and kill it that way. Oof, that's evil. I've enjoyed that. Okay, the question is, how badly are we doing on happiness without the wine? If we use blood crystal, we're back into fervent, so that's good. So putting influence into the happiness booster wasn't necessary. Luckily, we're getting all the luxuries we really need to keep our happiness up. We don't need to pop this until we get a new several. So I'm going to wait. And now we can build some Yotis. I guess before that we want to get some better military upgrades. We're going to need to get 4 military upgrades, potentially 3 military upgrades to strengthen our military, potentially 4 if we want this. I do want this agricultural science though, which means then we'll go for the military upgrades. Picking up this management science is not bad, it gives you bonus on exploitation, but I think these things are a higher priority. We have heroes to help us with production. I'm going to get alchemy workshops here, and I think here. Main Maritime Academy is good if you're producing sea units. Bonus, well, XP is it's not the be all end all, but it isn't bad. Okay, let's search. Equipped with a hero. Oh, we can actually do that. Pretty interestingly. But first we need this hero to do some attacking. We can actually capture both of these fortresses. Now let's show off these war units. Pretty cool. I guess the hero will do the tanking, if there's any tanking to be done. I mean, they counterattack, so the tanking there does actually do it. So the walls are equipped. The standard module is something that spits fire. We're pretty good. And we're going to get the final level of Marina, which makes our hero a very powerful naval unit. And we gain freedom. And Aduran, we need to capture all fortresses. And for 10 turns, that's good. We can easily do that. Now, the things that are not easy are happening later. We can spend spices now to improve our food production. Or we can wait until we've colonized this next region. It's not an obvious choice. I guess I want another settler, but I don't want to have to. It's going to kill our food production for a while. That's okay, I guess. Once I get the settler out, then I can think about popping the spices. I think. Improving our dust production was kind of helpful because it helps us get... kind of helpful. A little bit helpful because it helps us get more heroes in the future. I really do want this cargo docks. Cargo docks are going to be quite crucial for rounding up our cities. So you see that these holes in the sea sometimes, and then you can build the cargo docks there, and you can kind of triangulate around that hole. So that's really how you want to build cities with this faction, I think. Where's this? How can we not retreat? Oh, they're capturing the fortress. Alright, we can't really stop them. They have more ships than us. We're just gonna not reinforce. This is a trick, not trick, I learned playing as the cultists. It's very important that you don't fight for villages, etc. If you don't fight for things that you can't actually capture. Alright. Now the main thing is we need to put this better staff on our hero. We can't apply it. But we can unassign our hero, and then go to the hero screen, inspect, apply it here for an equipment cost of 9 titanium, and then assign the hero here. And then we party with them, and yeah, we gain 20 quicksilver and their loyalty. That's pretty cool. You can even pop this quicksilver right now to put us back into fervent, I think. Because the bonus is not that important to preserve. You can even kill the Cynic's army, I think, with this hero now. I expect this stuff is pretty good. Yeah, it is pretty good. Wolfbane the Shepherd. Looks really cool too. I love our hero's attack animation. It just sends like a wave of water. So I can't really reassign this hero until 5 turns, I think. Yeah. I can actually send this hero down here to help in the siege of this village if you think it's necessary. We can also try and kill this minor faction army by kiting it. Wait, what quest did I have with these people? Sunken Ruin. Nah, too far away. Let's take it by force. What's good about your armies is that you can fight on land and sea very effectively. Okay, they're still slowly capturing this. We can't actually catapult them. Cost too much influence for some reason. Okay, once we have this cargo docks, I almost feel like I want to go pick up these military upgrades before agricultural sciences. We have a lot to build. And we'll benefit from the agricultural sciences eventually, but just not right now. Okay, we have an additional settler now. Which is great. There's a sea monster, and if we have a big enough fleet, we can kill it for some loot. Although it's not a huge priority, the loot is good, but not exceptional. I'm going to send the settler out. And I almost want this cargo docks. Where am I building the Borough Street? Over here, yeah. The question is, which do I want first? I think I want the cargo docks first. And then I build the Borough Street around it, and then I level it up. Just bounce here. We can't really challenge this fleet. This is why it's important to capture these regions sooner rather than later. Is this a fire ship? Okay. I'm going to use my hero to engage that fire ship, hopefully draw some of its fire. Oh boy. Okay, let's bounce the hero close to it, making sure it draws the first attack. And look at, well, what an attack. As you can see, our hero has huge attack and huge damage. Yeah, that was good. At least for this turn, we've captured that fortress. We're probably going to have to retreat and give up on it, but we're getting resources for one turn at least. I'm just going to move the hero back here, see about securing Farani from these Silics. I think our hero with the staff should be able to defeat the Harmonite. Alright, we can kite them for days. Maybe I'm being overconfident again. I should just pick up this ruin and leave that to that. We'll leave that to the professional ground armies. Alright. So, with my sort of second take of this episode, things are going really well. You can even think about picking a cargo docks up there soon. We've established ourselves in 3 regions, soon to be 4. They're a bit... I almost want a cat. Cat's pouring you to send use of the lava. Or lava. Get burned. Anyway, while I mind control someone to walk into lava, I think we're going to end the episode next turn just so I can complete that action. Let's pick up this. Let's just make sure our fleets are removed from that area. We definitely don't want to engage with Orange's superior fleets. Yeah. And let's finish this Walk of Flame. Yeah. I actually kind of want to finish that Walk of Flame before ending the episode. Now we might as well pop this Grass Silk, because we're not going to benefit from it next turn. And we might want to pop this Wine, because we won't be able to pop it next turn. Well, we won't be able to pop it in the next turn. We have so many luxuries that, you know, it might not even be worth it to pop the Wine. Now this is a decent spot, but I think if we can get it next to an anomaly, that'll be also very nice. Or if we get it around here, so we could level up a cargo docks district. No, we need 4 tiles, I think, to level it up. So, what is this anomaly? Gives us a little bit of bonus industry. Although this gives us a decent amount of industry too. I probably just want to found it right away. Now I don't have a marketplace, so I'm just going to pop the Wine. Why not? Although that doesn't actually change anything, so maybe that was just a waste for no reason. Yeah. Okay, let's just drop that village. And we're still in fervent mode, which is good. And we're going to put everything onto industry here. And we're going to think about picking up yet another hero. We don't have any rivers here, so that Broken Lord's hero is less appealing. Although we can pick up the Broken Lord's hero and then swap out the other hero and use this Broken Lord's hero to get bonus dust on the dust tiles. Yeah, I think I'm into that. I'm not too worried about influence, but I do want to make sure dust is something you can improve in the long run. So let's assign this hero, assign our Broken Lord's hero here, get extra dust from those river tiles, assign our chosen hero here, and improve them like that. So I'm going to call it a day now. And as I continue this Walk of Fire with this Catsport army unit, join me next time as I continue my Morgawr playthrough, second take, and really build on this nice economic start. The next thing we have to worry about really is building up a strong enough army that we can repel minor factions, complete our quest, and just shield ourselves a bit from potential invasions. At the same time, we're going to have to build up our naval army to protect our regions. We've spread ourselves a little thin here. We want to be able to control this entire region in the future, but at the same time, we need to have the naval power to be able to repel other navies if that need should arise. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you learned something, and hope you had fun while watching. And if you did, consider subscribing. This time, in the next episode, I will be prepared to complete the stupid faction quest. No, it hasn't actually. And join me for the next episode. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content.